Hey all, Ultraviolet4 here. You're joining me for some dungeon crawl stone soup. Feels like a little while since we last played these street games. Cobalt Hunter was the last one. Since then there's been the crawl tournament for the .20 release. That was a lot of fun. I ended up coming third, by the way. The only way I was ever going to have a shot at winning the tournament is if I put on some insane streak, and I ended up dying about halfway through in Extended, to the Serpent of Hell no less. Let's not worry about that though. I'm quite happy with how it went. It was a lot of fun, and my teammate Man won, so he put in an amazing effort. Congrats to him. In the meantime, I've also just recently broken the world record for real time, and there's a video of that with commentary, so if you haven't seen that, I'd suggest you check it out. I think that video is a lot of fun. If you've only ever watched me play these slow streak games, it's a very different approach to the game when you're trying to win in sub 40 minutes or so. Alright, streaking. I believe we're on a 5 streak. You can check that. So that would make this game 6. Come on, bot. Alright, let's just say that's true. So what are we going to play? We're going to be going a Deep Dwarf. There we go. Won their last 5 games. Okay, so this will be 6. Well, that's the plan anyway. Alright, I'm going to be playing a Deep Dwarf. They live underground. Yeah, dwarves, we know that. Okay. Alright. Now you might be thinking that a Deep Dwarf is your typical melee bruiser. They have pretty good aptitudes for fighting type skills. They have plus 20% HP, and in most cases you would be right. Except, did you know that Deep Dwarves actually have a plus 3 aptitude for earth magic? Well, if you didn't, now you do. I've not tried this before, but I'd like, rather than just being a standard melee guy as a Deep Dwarf, which wouldn't be that interesting to play, I feel, we're gonna have a go at being a quote-unquote mage. So, DDEE. Alright. One of the main strengths of this combo is that it's an all caps combo. Much like word combos, all caps combos are stronger than regular combos. I wonder if there are any word all cap combos. I can't even like fathom how strong that would be. Alright, Deep Dwarf, let's have a look at ourselves. So, the whole thing about Deep Dwarves, it's this last one here, is that they do not regenerate. So you can rest all you want, you're never ever getting your health back. Your magic works like normal, but for your health, you have an ability, if we go to A, to heal wounds. And you can see here it costs a permanent magic point. That's not strictly speaking true. Each time you use it, there's a chance that you might lose one. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but you used to start with a wand of heal wounds, so it's supposed to work out to be roughly equivalent. Although of course you can't use recharging spells on your actual magic, so it's not quite equivalent. Note that this will increase, or other way around, this will lower as you get experience, but this failure is relatively high. So one of my favorite ways to die when I'm real-time speedrunning, because I use a Deep Dwarf for that, is to fail your healing. Bonus points if you fail it multiple times in a row. Anyway, so try not to rely too much on this to stay alive. Alright, so the problem with being a mage and needing our magic points to heal is that we might end up with being a mage with very low magic, but we'll have to see how that goes. The way that Deep Dwarf works to try to play around this no healing thing is here. You are resistant to damage. Deep Dwarves have a thing that's called damage shaving. I don't know if that's the actual name or people just refer to it as that, but all damage sources get reduced a little bit, and that applies to everything. So things like poison are much less deadly to a deep dwarf in the early levels, because just one level of poison, most of it is going to get blocked by damage shaving. So it means even if we're wearing relatively light armor or even a robe, we'll be taking less damage. Okay, so let's have a look. We got a book of geomancy, which has a bunch of different earth spells that we'll be using as we go. We start off with Sandblast, which is it's a level 1 spell. Fires a stone. If you have a look, we've started out with 30 stones in our inventory. You can also think of these stones as dwarvish bread. So we're going to fire our bread at the enemies we come across. We're not going to throw it, we're not going to sling it, we're using magic to fire it. So that's why it's different to throwing rocks. The thing to note about this though is that you'll probably find stones as you go, but if you don't want to overuse this. So we might end up picking up a weapon or something like that, but we'll try to follow some good mage conduct and actually be an earth elementalist. You'd do pretty well if you start off as a deep dwarf like this and you just pick up the first axe you find and start axing the dungeon some questions. But something morally reprehensible about people who pick mages and then play as melee characters. Am I right? I don't know how those people sleep at night. Okay, let's get on with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my tilde key, which is under escape, shift in that key, and I'm going to set up a macro to not that one, let's try again. I'm going to set up a macro that fires my stone skin, not stone skin, what's that spell called? Sandblast at the nearest enemy, which is ZA dot. Sandblast has a fairly low range, it's only 3, so it's not amazing, but should get us through this early part of the dungeon. Alright, and I'm manually exploring. You'll also note that I'm getting tiles revealed around me. That's the other thing about Deep Dwarves. You get one level of passive mapping, and we'll also get negative energy resistance at level 14, but that's not that exciting. Alright, a frilled lizard, 2 frilled lizards. We can fight those, and a cockroach. That's probably too much stuff. And a backup. Hopefully we'll only get 1 or 2 of them coming at a time. And we're going to rest up. As I said, the magic works normally. Okay, we got him. So we're down to 26 stones. You can see every time I fire one, I lose it. If you run out of stones, the spell doesn't work at all. It used to work where you could choose to either fire them for more damage and range, or you could just use it normally, but no more. You have to use stones. But at least you don't have to wield them anymore. It will fire them out of your inventory. So if we get a weapon, because you used to have to actually wield the stones, which was a little bit annoying. Alright, so when I'm seeing these enemies, I'm backing up, and it's got to come into 3 range. There we go. Before we can fire it. Haven't seen a weapon yet. Oh, my skills. I always do this. I do the intro and then I forget I actually have to do my training. Alright, so don't really want to learn stealth. It's not a big deal. I'm going to focus earth magic. I'll leave spellcasting on. Gives you more magic, which is going to be really important for a deep dwarf who's relying on their magic points to heal and cast spells at the same time. And I think as far as my defensive skill goes, I'll leave dodging on rather than train fighting. I've got a +1 aptitude for dodging, whereas fighting is -1. Although, hopefully not too long in the future, we probably want to train some fighting as well. We enter a teleport trap. Alright, here we go. Okay, well it wasn't too bad. Well, what? Wait. Round 2. Alright, thanks devs. It feels like I'm playing Zom right now. Let's go for a ride. Okay, the dot slug. We found some more stones, so I'd like to head towards those. We ended up on the other side of the map, so this is a bit sketchy because we don't have any safe spaces to inhabit. Which actually, I'm gonna head back here in this corridor and just clear it out, because I'm thinking if I head into this open area up here and there are a bunch of monsters and I have to run back, I'll just show you, like, because this looks like it might be quite open. If there were also monsters behind me, I could get sandwiched. So I checked out the hallways behind me first. Alright, looks like we're getting these stones for free. 14, that's not a million. Alright, as far as this rat goes, I can probably just punch it. I didn't check it, but I'm not sure that a rat can do much damage to us, if at all. There we go, we got level 2. Alright, so let's memorize our second spell, which is Pass Wall. And if you hit equals S, you can change the letters of your spells. I'm going to put Pass Wall in Q, which is where I normally use it. Pass Wall is an escape ability usually, or at least you can use it for stabs and that sort of thing, but for us it'll be an escape ability. You can potentially do some super MLG pass walls to get out of dangerous situations. Alright, we found a ring. I'm not going to try that on yet. We don't have any remove curse that we know of. I mean, this one could be, but we probably don't have remove curse. So if this is could be a cursed ring of -6 evasion, could be cursed teleport ring, that sort of thing. Could potentially kill us if we put that on without having remove curse. Same goes for this ring and any jewelry we find actually. Alright, we got a second scroll. I'm not going to read those until I find 2. If you find 2 at this stage of the game, probably remove curse or ID. And I'm digging these gloves. The blue gloves with the purple robe I think looks pretty baller. Alright, I think we can probably start auto-exploring. As far as this bat goes, if we XV it, its damage is 1. I think it's not impossible, but I think it's essentially impossible for it to hurt me with damage shaving. So I'm just gonna clumsily unarmed punch it rather than waste my stones on an enemy that can't hurt me at all. Good. Alright, dart slug. That one can hurt me, for sure. Alright, that guy threw a stone, so we know that he's got a cache of them. Let's see. Only 2? Really? You had 3 stones? Alright, let's grab his short sword. I have no problem wielding that. Even though it's plain, it could be cursed, but as a magic user, if it is cursed, it's not a big deal, because we can still use our magic to hit things. And if I have a look at my aptitudes, Deep Dwarves on the whole are pretty good at most types of weapons, or at least they're not too bad with them. -1 for short blades. I'm not going to train short blades just for some random short sword, so we'll keep our skills as they are. 2 scrolls of something. Alright, I'm going to read that. If it's teleport, I've seen a lot of this level, I'm not really worried. It's ID. Alright, so I'll go one of the potions, well, my only potion, cancellation, and I'll ID one of the rings. +5 protection, alright. Okay, so game's helping us out there. That's obviously very good for our survival. This guy has an enchanted short sword, and also stones. Only 2 again, so he had 5. Enchanted short sword. This is very likely to be cursed. Again, it's not a huge deal, but no, I'm not even going to bother. If this were a glowing sword, so it were just magic, I might be tempted to try it, because while it could be cursed, it might also be, say, a short sword of a lek or something like that. But if it's just enchanted on D1, it's probably just going to be like -2 cursed or something. Right, we've got 2 potions or something, so that's our D1. We ended up with 31 stones, so that was a net gain of 1 stone over the floor. That's not too bad. We didn't get any massive finds those stones though. I'm not level 3 yet. No, okay. Once we get to level 3 we can get Stone Arrow, which is quite a bit more damage. It uses conjurations, but I don't know, we'll talk about that when we get there. Just again meleeing our bats to hold onto our stones. This guy's got stones again. Only 3. Why aren't these dudes spawning with 20 of them? That would, if we just found like 30 stones, I could stop worrying about this. Alright. That was a bit scary. Those first 3, they all missed. Missed. Yeah, okay. I like how it says it's firing the blast of sand. It should be saying you fire the dwarvish bread. Alright, here's our first adder. As I said earlier, poison is not as scary for deep dwarves as it is for most other characters, but it still is scary. So I've got 2 potions that I know of that, well, I've got 2 of a potion. It could be curing. But we're just going to fire our 4 stones at it and hope that we kill it. If we don't, I don't know what we do. Let's give it a go. Alright, so it's not dead. So what do we do here? Could start trying to hit it with our short sword. That last one was a miscast actually. What's our percent on that? That was a 3% miscast. Oh boy. Of all the times that you might miscast, doing it against your first adder is not the time for that. So I could start hitting it with my short sword and hope that I kill it. You can't run from an adder, of course, because it's faster than you. My other options are I could raid these and hope that one is teleport or, you know, fear or blinking or something, or I could quaff one of these potions. But I think we might have some goes at hitting it first, and then if we start getting poisoned, then we'll reassess. So let's go. Missed. We didn't get poisoned though. It's biting me. I think maybe he can't poison me unless he hurts me. Yeah, okay. So he won't cause poison unless damage is dealt. So there's actually a pretty good chance that he's just not going to hurt me. Because we have 8 AC and we have our damage shaving. Alright, we've got 1 magic left. Let's go, we got it with a sandblast. Okay. We got level 3. I've already started out with 11 strength, which is the strength you need for the encumbrance of a fire dragon armor. So I'm probably not going to need more strength. I also, every 3 levels, I might get a strength or an int. So I think we'll get enough enough strength for the game. So I'm just going to be using int on all my level ups. Alright, good. Okay, I got greedy. I went up to butcher that corpse, and in doing so I revealed a hobgoblin. That's okay, I can just... No, we missed. Yeah, okay. I'm just sort of going to back him up, and while I do so, we'll regain our mana. We missed again. We've got a nice little pillar here that we can run around and just... No, okay. We miscast it again. We can regen our mana like this. We probably also could just fight him, which I think I might do, because we miscast it again? What? We miscast it twice in a row at a 2% failure. Alright, let's just... switching to sword. Apparently our bread is no good. And we just took our first damage for the game. We went to 27 of 28. And you'll note that it's not healing again. There's an altar. Iskaior is not a god that we can worship. We're actually fairly constrained by which god we pick as a deep dwarf. It's almost certainly, and in fact I'll say it will be, we're going to be playing Hnaflbaflsniflwhifltafl. Hnaflbaflsniflwhifltafl is not usually considered a mage god, but he gives you healing on kills, which unless you want to, so you can pick other gods for deep dwarves. Usually you want to have healing of some kind, so you could be Trog, which is not going to work being a mage. You could be Ellie, which is kind of painful, but you can do. If you want to be other gods, you have to start doing things like casting Vampiric Draining to heal thousands of times, which, I mean, it works, but it's kind of tedious, so we're just going to pick Hnaflbaflsniflwhifltafl and not worry about it. Let's do our other ring. +2 int, yeah, that'll help a bit. And our 2 potion. It's mutation. No, I'm not going to roll mutations at this stage. We're down to 18 stones. I think this guy doesn't have a weapon. We've got 8 AC, so I think we're just going to fight him with our short blade. Alright, no scroll. I don't know why I shot that guy. It's hard not to. Hey, there are some stones. 12 stones. Okay, so this adder is asleep. We could try to stab him. No, okay, never mind, he woke up. Alright, let's go. That time it worked. We actually cast our spell. We gained 12. That helps a bit, but still not a million. Hey, another 23. Alright, there's our massive stone stash that we've been after this whole time. So we got 50 stones. Alright, that makes me feel a bit more stone spam happy. There's an axe. If we have a look at our skills again, axe is the best weapon for Deep Dwarves. They have a +1 aptitude. So if I'm just having a plain weapon, I'd rather have a plain hand axe than a plain short sword. What am I doing? Let's put a hand axe on key 1. Alright, good. Not that I'm going to train it now, but it just feels much more natural as a dwarf to walk around with an axe than it does to walk around with a short sword. A worm. This is where I wish I actually had a pole on. Although I guess with a short sword I could stab things. Alright, I don't want to be adjacent to him to take shots, so we could kite him like that and shoot him with the sandblast from range. This guy again, I'm gonna axe him in the face. 2 potions or something. Okay, we didn't get shafted. There's a plate mail which I would love to just pick up and put on, but we're being a mage law. Yeah, he had a whip. I think it was plain. Yeah, it's just plain. Right. Rather have an axe than a whip. It's ID 2 scrolls again. Berserk Rage. Hey. So if we need to, we can go ham on something. And we're gonna again clumsily try to hit the bat with the axe because it can't hurt us. Same for the rat. Not to the worm though. Those guys can hit for up to 12 damage, I believe. So they'll definitely, even through your damage shaving, they'll definitely hurt you. Adder number 3. Let's stone blast it. And actually, I'm at level 4 and I completely forgot about learning stone arrow. Alright, let's do that. I'm gonna put that on X, and I'm gonna make another macro that does fire stone arrow. If we have a look, we've got a 17% chance to use that. It's quite a bit more powerful, but it uses 3 magic points, and we only have 7 total. So I'm probably only going to use that against enemies that scare me quite a bit more. I could train some conjurations for it, but I think I'm happy just using earth magic for now. Yeah, okay. And we'll primarily keep using our bread firing spell. Alright, D3. That's a magic short sword. This one I think I'll try. Could be cursed, but again, we're not really reliant on our weapon. So while it's annoying, it won't be the end of us. It's a +3 short sword. Yeah, well that's good. That +3 makes it better than the axe. And as I was saying, we can potentially stab things. That's a 2. Good chance it could be remove curse, but I don't think there's anything that I want to try on, so I'll just wait. I'd rather be reading my scrolls on D4 because they could be magic mapping, in which case I could find the temple. So, ooh, this is a bit sketchy. We've got an orc, which might indicate an orc pack behind him, at the same time as a goblin and an adder. So I'm going to start backing up. That was not my backup button. I could just leave the goblin like this between me and the adder. Let's see where we're going. without ever knowing the way. Back to this hallway down here. Looks like the orc isn't coming, so that's okay. Alright. I feel good in this hallway here, so let's fight the stuff. There's another hobgoblin behind me. Alright, we can fight him. Alright, that didn't end up being too bad. It looked like it could have very easily got out of hand. If the orc had come and he was also with an orc priest and or an orc wizard, we might have been in trouble there, but not this time. No, we got him in one. Alright, good. Alright, starting to charge in at things, which is not good thinking. There's our orc wizard. We don't have curing yet that we know of, so they're very dangerous because they might confuse you, and especially if there's a priest with it. If you're just stuck confused while eating smites from a priest, you're gonna die. Alright, well the wizard saw us. He sped up. If we XV him, it tells us he might have slow or he might have invis. He's not a confused orc wizard, which is probably good for us. Although if he goes invis, that could be a bad time. So I'm going to restrict my line of sight to him so he doesn't use those turns to go invis. And then we're going to start Puff of Flame. So he is the invis variety. Alright. So I could try to hit him with my stone arrow, but I've only got 5 magic, so that means I could have 1 stone arrow attempt, and then I'd only have 2 sandblasts, or I could just say that I have 5 goes with sandblast. I think I'm better off just sandblasting him rather than potentially using all my mana here. Oh, we got him in 1. Alright, so we got lucky. Alright, just a plain rope. Oh, see this guy, you can see with 1 level of poison we're not actually taking any poison damage, but that's a D3 kobold with a poison blowgun. That's a really good way to die. So let's step around the corner and actually shut the door so he doesn't just poison us 8 times as we try to close to him. And we're waiting. And I want to step next to him. If I start shooting stones at him from here, he'll keep poisoning me. Whereas if I step next to him, he'll pull out his melee weapon. See there? He got out the dagger. Alright. So it's an uncursed blowgun. And 9 poison needles. Let's grab those. There's a goblin with a hunting sling and another hobgoblin. I wonder, it suggests to me that there might be Robin. Anyway, so oh, I didn't pick up the blowgun. Oops. Got distracted and then ran away. But we want that stuff. The blowgun and the poison needles. We know that it's uncursed already, so it means we're safe in just using it. Alright, that's very good. So uncursed blowgun. Oh, I just picked up the needles, is that what I did? Okay. I'm going to adjust the blowgun to be on B. So now when I press the apostrophe key, I can switch between A and B, which is my short sword and my blowgun. I'm actually going to walk around with the blowgun out. It gives me a full screen range option, whereas, so from here I could shoot this guy, whereas my sandblast would not reach. I missed, but that's okay. So we'll switch back to our sword, and then we'll sandblast him. Alright, this guy's same thing. When I step next to him, he pulls out his dagger. Alright, so I want to grab this hunting sling as well. That's another full screen ranged option. The difference with this one is that hunting sling also fires stones, which are very important to me. So unless I find sling bullets, I'm not going to be firing that one. Let's do a search. There are 21 sling bullets on D2. Let's go grab those. Alright, we're going to do a bit more adjusting here. Juggle all our various weapons. I'm going to put the blowgun on Q, so I can hit WQ to wield that one. I'm going to put the hunting sling on B. Alright, so we got a short sword, hunting sling, and a blowgun. Alright, we're ready for battle. Not the hatch. Alright, I probably shouldn't have gone to this unknown stair. For all I know, there's a null pack here, or segment. Let's go back to where we were. Yeah, this is better. And, well, I picked up sling bullets, so it means I'm automatically going to start picking up any extra ones that I see. Alright, 3 scrolls or something. That's almost certainly remove curse. But again, there's nothing that we're particularly after. Alright, there's a ring mail. I'm very tempted to put this on. Let's see, our other spells. Petrify and Leaves we're probably not using for a while. For one, our spellcasting training is slow and we only have 1 spell level left. But also they're quite a bit harder to use. I think we can get pretty far just on Stone Arrow. So I think I'm going to put this on. Let's have a look. We're at 8 AC, 13 evasion, that's 21 in total. This is 11, which is 22. As far as our spells go, Sandblast is 3% still, although we learnt earlier that 3% means a good chance of failing multiple in a row. Alright, I think that's fine. I can train a little bit of Conjurations soon. Maybe when I get to 7 Earth Magic, so we have a round number. That will help us with Stone Arrow. And then we've got, 11 AC on D3. And we have Deep Dwarf damage shaving. That's pretty good. There's a worm. I remember that this orc had a polearm, I believe. Can we go around this way? Did you have a polearm? Up here maybe? A trident, yeah, okay. So we're gonna have even more weapons in our armament here. Alright, so with this trident, we can hit the worm from range and not have to worry about our stones. Like that. So we're not risking being hit by him, and we're not using our stones. Cool. Reach level 5. Yeah, no spell levels still. And, oh no. Right. So when I have my hunting sling out, by default here you can see it quivers the stones. If I hit Shift Q for the quiver menu, I want to put on sling bullets, because I really don't want to waste them. And I guess I'll walk around with this weapon out. Yeah. So that's, again, my full screen ranged option. We can just shoot him. I probably should have switched to the +3 short sword, because then I'm not risking mulching my sling bullets. Alright, but if I really want to poison something, I'll pull out the blowgun. Look at all our weapons. What do we need? We need a mace and a sword, and then we can have the full lot. Maybe a bow. Alright, D4. So we can start finding the temple now. I'm gonna read my scrolls to do just that. Let's get rid of our fruit. We're not gonna be fed ass. Oh god. The Deep Dwarf of fed ass sounds like probably the worst game you could ever imagine. So I'm gonna read my scrolls. We'll do it on the stair here, in case I get teleport like that, in which case I'm gonna go up. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a flash there, which is a setting that I've put in. So when what's the message? When I feel strangely unstable, I want the screen to flash. It's because it gets really annoying when Nagas in Snake Pit teleport you, and you don't notice, and then you just get teleported into the rune vault. So with the screen flashing like this, hopefully I notice. I didn't want to force more because that's really annoying when you want to teleport on your own. Alright, there's our magic mapping. Let's have a look. I think there's no temple here. Okay. Well, let's read the rest of our scrolls in any case. Random uselessness. There's our remove curse. No jewelry or anything to try on, so that's okay. Enchant weapon. I guess we put that on the hunting sling. That's not particularly exciting. And amnesia. None of these spells we want to forget. They're all pretty good. Okay. So that means, what does that mean? I don't see any altars on this floor either. So we're not finding our god, at least for D4. Oh, new book. A book of cantrips. This has some very good spells in it. Animate Skeleton in particular is very good. Application is also really good. If you have a look, Deep Dwarves have +1 aptitude on necromancy and translocations, funnily enough. I didn't know that. Yeah, see, I've never played a Magic Deep Dwarf before. This is all kind of new to me. But I knew they were good at necromancy. Didn't know about translocations though. So I think using Animate Skeleton is a very good idea here. Alright, let's learn that. That will give us a lot of power as well. Let's put it on Z. No. Let's go something a bit more out of the way. Maybe Y. And you can set up a macro here for C. C is obviously Butcher normally, but because I have Auto Butcher on, I don't normally manually butcher. So if I put a macro on C that actually casts the Animate Skeleton spell, did I get it right? Yeah. Yeah. Instead of butchering, I'll raise a skeleton. When you animate a skeleton, it still gives you the meat chunks, which is basically the idea. Let's switch to our blowgun, and we'll try to get a blowgun shot on it. We did, okay. Because adders are susceptible to poison, that will really help. Let's go again, same thing. That will really help in killing it. It woke up, unfortunately. Alright, sandblast it is then. So, the other question, you'll notice, I'm not healing myself. I'm just walking around sitting on 33 of 42 HP. So at what point do you heal? And that's a good question. You kind of want to heal when you have to, because every time you heal, you're potentially losing your magic forever. So if you're going to heal, say 20 off it, there's no point healing when you're only missing 9 from your max health, because you can think of it like you only have a limited amount of healing in the game. So you want to get the most value out of it you can. Same thing for the worker ant as the adder. It's susceptible to poison. So by hitting it there, it died fairly easily. That is a... it's just a normal ring. Okay. I thought it was an artifact one. We got him again. So lucky. They have quite a bit of evasion, so it's interesting that we've managed to be so successful at hitting the ants. When it's asleep, you can't miss, but that time it was awake. Let's try this ring. We've got Remove Curse, so can't be terrible. Wizardry. That makes my stone arrow 13%. I'm not sure that that's a big deal. Yep, I think it's fine. We're about to get Earth Magic to 7, at which point we'll turn that off and we'll train some Necromancy and some Conjurations. I'll carry it though. It's very good to have for when we're trying to get some of our higher level spells. Like LRD, for instance, might be a good one. Alright. How are we going for stones? 36, it's not a million. Alright. ID scroll, let's do the 2. We got Leak. That's very good in case we find some killer bees or something like that. Yeah, I'm just going to use my sword a bit more. Alright, well there's a Morning Star, so if we wanted to have the full range of weapons, let's pick that up. I'm just picking it up to have it. But a Morning Star is a pretty good one-handed mace. Enchant weapon. Not going to read that one. As nice as a +2 hunting sling might be, it's not that exciting. Right. Come on, cockroach. Look at our sling go. How are we at slings? We have a +1 aptitude, but even with 0 skill training, you see how good slings are. It's a danger to equip it without Remove Curse if you're a melee user, but if you want to win the early game on anything really, just pick up a hunting sling. They're insanely good. Alright, so we again switch to our blowgun. And we poison it, and then it should pretty much be dead. Yeah, hunting sling for the win. Earth magic to 7. Let's turn that off for now. Maybe we should focus some spell casting. Let's get some more magic, and we'll train some necromancy and some conjurations. Alright, let's see. So we've got an add corpse, so we can attempt. What's our percent? 36% chance to fail. Animate skeleton. Hey, well, we got one. Alright, let's go. Another hunting sling. if you didn't have one yet, grab another one. Alright, go at a not the sling, I wanted the sword. I don't think you can animate. No, you can't animate them. See, that's the thing. If I try to hit my butcher now, it will be telling me I can't animate it. But I can butcher with O, which is my auto explore. Auto butcher, very useful. If for some insane reason you don't have auto butcher on, you should. We've got a gnaw coming. Hopefully not a whole pack. I'd like to blowgun him once as he approaches. Did we get him twice? We did. So I can probably just kite him a bit while he ticks down to poison. Let's see, I don't know if 2 will be enough to actually kill him. No, okay. So we'll use our bread. There we go. And we go more in. Cool. Thank you, blowgun. Another one. Same plan. He didn't see me, so I backed up. And I managed to switch. Alright, let's go. Missed. Got him. The second one got him, it just didn't actually poison him. Alright, there's the halberd gnaw. He's the much more dangerous one. Let's deal with this one first. Okay, so he's more healthy. In this case, this feels like a stone arrow enemy. Gnolls hit pretty hard on their own, for up to 9, plus the damage for his flail. So they're no joke. Let's stone arrow. Alright, we got him. Same thing. Let's try to poison this guy. Got him. Let's go again. And stone arrow. Yeah, cool. Alright. So he didn't take any shots from that gnaw. Alright, we're out of... I wondered why my blowgun shot a stone. It's because I'm out of poison needle, so I actually ended up just throwing a stone. In which case I should have been throwing it with magic. That would have been much more successful. Alright, we got a new scroll. I'm just going to read it. Let's go. Enchant armour. I'll put it on my gloves. That's the most likely of the 2 that I'm going to end up with for a long time. For the ring mail, if we find, say, any sort of magic ring mail, we'll be switching. And we didn't get a null corpse, so we can't animate one. That's okay. Alright. Let's keep going. Crimson Imp. Okay, well, apparently we auto-explored to a scorpion. They do much more damage, but again susceptible to poison. So let's try to poison it. Trying to poison it like this in melee is actually a really bad idea. So why don't I just stone arrow it? Alright, I went 1 stone arrow and 1 stone blast. Your blowgun uses your throwing skill, which we have none of. So trying to poison the scorpion like that in melee range with no throwing skill is a good way to just get very poisoned. The Crimson Imp is annoying but not dangerous, so I'm just going to try to hit him with my sword. It doesn't really threaten us. Yeah, okay, necromancy to 1. Again, we can't animate a scorpion. The 1-hit sling KO feels good. Alright, we're up to D5. We hear the sound of rushing water. We've got... I thought I had a second magic mapping. Apparently we don't. Alright, so we're looking for 2 things. One, we're looking for that sewer. And the second, we're looking for our temple. It's been 44 minutes, so I think we're going to call episode 1 there. If you join me in the next one, we'll see if we can find Hnaflbaflsniflwhifltafl. And we'll continue being a Deep Dwarf mage. See you then.